Let's have a look at what it takes to build a contemporary garden. My skills are a little bit limited in building a contemporary garden, so I've called in some friends to help. We've got Tanya, the editor of the Gardener magazine, and we've got Lindsay, principal of the School of Garden Design. Welcome guys, and thank you for helping me out today.
Andrew, we are here. We are right here to give us your guns, and we're going to show you how to build a really cool garden.
Excellent, excellent. Most important thing guys, you're going to keep it simple, easy, practical, that we can do it ourselves and we can teach everybody at home at the same time. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
And I want all those tricks and trades and secrets that you've got hidden away, they're coming out.
You know what? I think the biggest thing is that folks get so scared, Lindsay, when they've got to start a garden. I mean, it's like you've got this blank palette, and in fact, I mean, here at least there's some grass. I mean, some people, when they arrive in homes, there's nothing. And it's that starting point that is the most fearful. I guess it's like starting anything. It's that first step that you've got to take, and often we think, oh, am I going to make a mistake? And I guess that's where your skills are coming in, and it's how do we break that down? I mean, what are the things that people get wrong mostly, and what do they need to remember?
I think the first thing is that you don't start from the plants. One of the key elements of designing anything, be it a room inside your house or outside in the garden, is to decide what you want to do there. And that was what we did when we came to interview the homeowner. We asked her what she actually wanted. From there, you can move into your shapes and your plants, but you really want the area to be functional. And a lot of people start in the opposite direction, where they plant first, and then when it's all overgrown and they can't use the space, they cry.
Andrew,
I've done that.
what would you have done?
I would have done exactly. Yep, I like that one. We'll get that. We'll get it home right. Where are we going to put it? We got no space to put it.
Exactly. Your first step would have been rushing out to builders, finding 10 trolley loads of plants, and then saying, well, what do I do with these?
And special. My wife has got a problem with specials.
Well,
We'll get some of those.
Okay.
What are
You can
those?
never have too many of certain things, but never mind that. We can help it.
The nice thing is we've all done it.
Exactly.
And we probably all will do it at least once a year.
And
So-
that's where people waste money
Yes.
and get frustrated, and they've got to come back down to those basics and kind of hold themselves back. I find it difficult, and I should know all this stuff, but when I walk into a garden centre, I do the same.
Colour
So-
rules.
Absolutely. So let's go through. What did you have an idea? Because it's an awkward space. This. I mean, it's not normal.
No, it's definitely not normal. Well, I pulled a past student of mine in Kerry Anderson from Image Landscape Design, and we put our heads together. We spoke to the homeowner, and the very first thing we needed to chat about was what she wanted, and she was quite specific. She wanted, contrary to the rest of her garden, a meadow planting where she had soft flowers, indigenous grasses, and herbs and veggies. We had to take into account that the lower building, the lower level, is actually her husband's office, so we couldn't constrict it or put anything tall in its way. And then upstairs is a beautiful guest suite with a wide patio where people can enjoy the lovely view behind me, which looks over the Kloof Gorge.
And that's important. I mean, the fact that there's another garden just extending just
Absolutely.
right off the bank.
Yes,
And
yes.
we must never lose sight of that. I mean, if you've got an awesome garden, why go and put a big hedge up?
Yeah.
But also, I think, and this is where a lot of folks go wrong, is that this is a mean building that we've got next to us.
Yes, it is. It's a very imposing building with an apex as well. That was also one of the things which we can talk about later, but I wanted to bring the cypresses that have already been planted on the one side around to marry the height. We started looking at shape then after we had got the brief from the client. As you said, it's an awkward shape. It's almost crescent shaped. And what we don't do in design is repeat the shape, because then your open space is crescent shaped as well. So we played around with diagonal designs. It was very nice because diagonal designs has the ability to stretch an area, make it larger. But for us, it didn't work because the planting spaces that we ended up with were tricky. You know, you've got a bank behind me. We have to take that into consideration for little ones. And it just really wasn't fitting with the client's theme of a country garden. So we went for the good old circle. There is no better shape in the garden than the perfect circle. We placed our circle, we had a lovely snaking S path, and bear in mind here you can change your material. So the shape didn't determine the materials at that stage. It was still the client's choice. And that gave us the areas that would be softer for the planting.
But that's very interesting. I mean, would you have ever thought of smacking a circle in the middle of this garden?
Not a chance. We've got straight edges all over the place. You can't,
And I
it's
hate
not
saying
gonna
this,
fit.
but being a man, you might have put some more straight edges in.
Lovely weather we're having today.
Excellent. So, but you see, that's I think the
It
beauty
is.
of about design. You can
Yes.
take any shape and just throw it in, something
Yeah.
that's completely against what we would normally think of. And Lindsay's 100% right. Circles are wicked.
Yeah.
Put it into anything, and even the half moon, and all of a sudden, pow, the garden just comes alive.
Yeah.
It becomes bigger. Your depth perception has changed,
Mm-hmm.
and instead of looking at this funny shape, your eye just stops, bang.
Yes.
And it has to go around. They say if you can make a perfect circle, you're quite mad. And then at the back on the plan, Lindsay, I saw there was a really awesome retaining wall with a bit of seating, because there's a bit of a bank that we're having to deal with there.
Yes, Tanya, that's what we had to consider. You know, a lot of this background planting is getting too big. We need to take that out, but then we would be sitting with soil that was banked up against the fence, and also with these terrible rains we've been having and these flash floods. That is a dangerous thing for any garden. So we thought what we would do is just back the circle. Again, you're reinforcing it if you like, but it just gives somebody the opportunity, if they come into this area, just sit and rest for a few minutes and perhaps enjoy the view from a different area.
Well, I like that. And Andrew and I have been chatting about how to incorporate the seating in a simple way
Yes.
that is not going to challenge the kind of DIY 101er. And Andrew's come up with a great idea.
Yeah. Basically, we've got our design, and when we actually start spanning it out, we realize our seat's not going to fit in so nicely, so we can change it. It's fine to change. So that's exactly what we've done. Instead of having a two-level seat, we've actually gone for one flat block level, which is like the retainer wall, and we just made it wider, and that's our seat, more of a bench type than a seat with a backrest.
Fabulous. And then you can throw cushions on it and...
Good idea. Lindsay, one question. The pathway that I saw in your design, it kind of went at a bit of a curve. Now, I know why you've done that, but tell our young
I would
gardener
have
why.
gone a straight line, straight to the point,
see what
get
I'm
to the
saying?
focal
There's the
point.
man. There's the man. But we don't want to make this a man-bashing program. And
That's a whole new episode.
the reason we did this, because it would look hideous if we just did a straight path.
Okay.
We are going to put a trellis with an arch so that we kind of announce this area.
Okay.
You know, so because it doesn't fit exactly with the rest of the garden. So you almost want to create a different room. It might be a very private area that services the upstairs guest suite as well. So once that is done, you don't want to walk through that gate and just get onto a straight path. So you emulate the circle and just slowly relax the path a little bit. So it's almost like taking a straight piece of string and putting a slight curve into it. Just makes it more interesting. It also means that your planting is not rigid on either side. And I think with a relaxed garden as well, you have more options for your materials, Andrew. We've settled on lawn with a gravel path, but it could have been deck with a deck path, which would raise it slightly.
Well, Andrew, you've got lots of DIYing to do.
I know, I have.
believe you're building the garden.
Yes.
And then I'm coming to help you with a couple of plants.
Just point them away with a magic wand.
Exactly, just like that. Click.
Now, one thing I think we have forgotten is features. Every time I check all these different types, you've got little wells, bridges, all these little gnomes and stuff like that. Some look great, some look terrible. What can we use there? What can we put
I
in?
thought you maybe wanted to just put a bra in the middle of it.
That will be there as well, but I've got to have it make it look...
I think for the theme and style that Lindsay has gone with, and also what the homeowner wanted, was very soft and gentle. Lots of greys, light colours, gentle colours, for almost really a place of sitting and enjoying the rest of the garden, which is this amazing view. So in going with almost the French contemporary theme, chatting to Lindsay, we're going to go with some terracotta pots, which never age, they never date. You know, green is in one year, orange is in the next year. You choose pots that match kind of themes or whatever's trending, and the next year it's out. Whereas a terracotta pot will never go out of fashion.
Perfect.
It's always there, good investment, and you're good to go for years and years.
Yeah. In this broader meadow planting here, just a few judiciously placed terracotta pots. They don't even have to have anything in them. If you do want to plant in them, you plant more of the same. So if you've got soft grasses and barberton daisies and things like that, you can put them in the pots, or you can just leave them completely empty. And then there are some really beautiful statues and figurines and things out there too now, you know, bronze, metalwork, all kinds of things that you can include later, but those are the play elements.
Okay.
I think, as Tanya said, it's very important to get the basics right first, and then the accessories become playtime.
And we can always add as we go along if we decide on seeing
Absolutely.
something nice, we can
Absolutely.
squeeze it in.
And you know, the lesson is here, and where one of these things, hold yourself back again, is that too many features in the garden Sometimes there are more statues that live in the garden than people that actually live in the home.
Absolutely.
So you've got to really be very gentle with the amount of features and statues and ornamentation that you put, because it becomes just a white noise and a mess, and you lose out on the real essence of the garden, which is the design and the plants.
Yeah, less is definitely more.
For sure.
I mean, just think of that beautiful seat you're going to build, Andrew. The owner can go to any decor store at all and choose different cushions and accessories for every season. So there could be an autumn theme here, a spring theme. Those are the kind of things that you change over.
Okay, so we've got some fantastic hints and tips from you guys. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. We're going to get cracking, and hopefully you can advise us as we go along.
See you later.
Thank you, Andrew.